had 3 options.
Morning!
Good morning.
You are hanging out with Kelly Walker Slaughter, host of Warren First 931. Of course, I'm host of the show, alongside with our special guest, Miss Susie Davenport, and my brother from another mother.
Duke Rice in the house.
Yes, boys. Again, we are live at Topz Frozen Yogurt and Metro Deli. I know everything looks a little different and chaotic right now. It's just, it's summertime. People are on vacation. And it's okay to go back to the old ways sometimes just to, chill with the vibes. But we do have with us Susie Davenport. She is over the elections office here in the Warren County community. And I wanted her to talk a little bit, first and foremost, about her exciting trip where she got to meet Secretary of State Trey Hargett. How was that?
Well, Trey is our ultimate boss, and I must say that this wouldn't be the first time I met him.
Okay, that's awesome.
But every year, the state coordinator of elections office under Trey Hargett, he's the Secretary of State. Under his office, after the legislature closes, there's always new laws and what have you that have taken place, and we always have some legislation updates, and it also gives us a refresher on some things that we have upcoming. Our election cycles. We have essentially 2 different cycles. One with your presidential race is your top race. The other is your governor's.
Wow.
So we kind of we have the same things but different.
Yeah.
The presidential preference primary begins in March.
Oh wow, that's right.
Whereas in our off years, in our governor's years, those begin in May.
Okay.
Just some things are different. The basics of elections are all the same.
Okay.
But the different offices tend to lead to different ways of doing. As we were talking earlier, every state sets their election laws.
Yeah.
It's not a federal thing. Some of the basics are, but just for example, when your polls open and close, things like that.
That's a big one here.
I was reading just lately about New York gives the longest time from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tennessee, in some of the larger venues, will open at 8, at 7. Warren County, in particular, opens at 8.
8 o'clock.
We don't open at 7. I don't care what Nashville or Knoxville or Chattanooga say. We don't open until at 7 o'clock. We open at 8. But all the polls will close at the same time.
Right.
But, for example, Lincoln County has a smaller voter base. They don't open until 9 o'clock.
Oh.
So it depends on your population a lot. And just little things like that are individual. Every state has some states elect different officials.
Okay.
But the basics, your presidentials, your senates, your representatives, those will all be the same. In Warren County, this year is our governor's year. Along with the governor's race, we also have all of our county-wide offices.
That's right.
Our county executive, our deeds, our sheriff, our road
city
superintendent.
alderman is also coming.
In November is when city elections take place. All 4 of our cities in Warren County, thankfully, hold their municipal races in conjunction with their November elections.
Okay.
Not all counties do that, but there's been some legislation that is trying to focus those
all together.
Because putting on elections is not cheap.
No, it's not. And if we could do it together, it would be more cost effective.
Even if it's a city the size of Iowa.
Yeah.
You've still got to pay for all the bases, all the things. And so even as raising this election for the city of Iowa, if they hold it standalone, you don't remember this, but we used to have city elections on the second Saturday of December.
Oh, that was before my time. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that at all.
No. I'm dating myself, maybe.
But, you're still beautiful.
Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. But no, we used to hold our municipal elections in December, which was a standalone election, not with we'd had a November election, but then you had the
following month you had another
month
one.
you had another
Oh,
election.
wow.
But several years ago, all of our municipalities moved onto a schedule with the November election,
And it's
which
worked
is
out
nice.
great.
It's
Yes.
great. It saves the cities a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're already hosting an election. They just have to pay a little portion of it rather
Yeah.
than the full
whole
election.
election. I love that.
So, our officials in Warren County have got it together.
Yeah.
They are working on saving the taxpayers money where they can.
I love that.
But
that meeting, like the we all were over the weekend or last week, it was very successful. I saw the picture, and
yes,
and we hold a good integrity on the voting.
Tennessee is for the 4th year in a row rated number 1 in election
love
integrity. Which, yay, go Tennessee! We it's the Heritage Foundation is a nationwide organization that pays a lot of attention to elections.
Yeah.
And to our constitutional freedoms.
Okay.
And the Heritage Foundation has rated Tennessee for the 4th year in a row as number 1 in election
love
integrity.
I love
So
that.
we're very proud of that. Sometimes we may have something we're not proud of, but that we're really proud of.
How does one become like year after year? What are we doing right that you think other states aren't doing?
To quote Trey Hargett, in Tennessee, we make it easy to vote and hard to cheat.
Okay.
We don't do mail-in elections. We have absentee voting.
Yeah.
But if you vote absentee, you have had to have been registered in person and or have already voted at one time. And you have to request that absentee ballot over your signature. Some states do all mail voting.
Oh.
They mail every registered voter, every active registered voter on their rolls a ballot. That's not secure.
No.
And
we've seen that in the past couple elections. It's not been.
Well, it's been questionable in some instances. If you mail a ballot to everyone who has an address in Warren County, I don't know they still live there.
Right.
But I am mailing it to their last address.
Or they might still own the house and they're renting it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They may not live there. And we need to have current information. If you want an absentee ballot, and in Tennessee, you have to have a reason for an absentee ballot. Now, it can be you're over 65 years old.
Okay.
It can be that you are a student out of the county going to school at, say, you're going to school in, I don't know, North Carolina. You're going to Duke. You're going to Duke. I don't know why that one came into my mind this morning.
I wonder why.
Yeah, but that's a long commute to come home to vote.
Oh, yeah.
But if you have registered in person previously or you have voted in person in the past, you are eligible to request an absentee ballot.
Yeah.
But that request has to come over your signature. I have to have something concrete that says,
I love that.
Kelly wants an absentee ballot.
Right.
Not, I'm mailing an absentee ballot to this address.
To Kelly without even saying, I like that. I get that.
And, that's just one of the examples of why we have such good integrity in our elections.
I love that.
When you come in to vote during early voting, you sign a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
It's got your signature on it. When you come in again, if you've already voted, we're going to say, I'm sorry, you've already voted.
Yeah.
Because
it's already in the system. Like, why'd you come twice?
And I will never tell you we don't make a mistake.
Yeah.
I might register, I might enter seniors' information instead of juniors. Yeah. But I can go back to that application and see junior's signature.
Yeah.
And I can make that correction.
Yeah.
But if we didn't have the safeguards we have, we don't have election day registration. Some states do. I'm not saying that they can't control that.
Yeah.
But it's a whole lot easier if you've had a 30-day cutoff, or some states have a 2-week cutoff.
Okay.
Others, but we have a control there.
Yeah.
Where we have gotten everybody into the system. People have
And you're
registered.
ready.
They moved to Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
They've registered in Murfreesboro before that 30 days. So we take them out of our rolls.
Yeah.
We have a state database that connects all our counties.
Mm-hmm.
If you move to Murfreesboro and you register there, you're not going to still be registered in Warren County.
Yeah.
We're going to remove you from that role, and vice versa.
Right.
We just have a lot of safeguards.
I love that.
And the fact that we require an in-person registration or an in-person having voted. Since 2012, Tennessee has had a photo ID law.
Yeah.
I don't understand why anybody would oppose that, but people do oppose that. I don't know. I don't understand why, but I'm a part of that system.
Yeah.
So I understand the integrity it creates. You've got to have a photo ID to go to the doctor. You've got to have a photo ID to buy cigarettes. You've got to have a photo ID to buy alcohol. You've got to have photo ID
get your medicines,
to get on
all
a plane,
these things.
to do all those things. Voting is important.
Yeah.
People who vote, we've got a little quote on our website that says the outcome of an election is determined by the people who show up. If you don't vote, you don't participate in one of the fundamental rights you have as an American citizen.
I agree.
And
this is
don't complain if you don't vote.
Yeah, if you don't like the turnout, don't complain.
Tennessee has a low voter turnout at a lot of times. We always have a better turnout for our November presidential election.
Of course.
The man who controls your taxes, your zoning, your boards.
Speak, Susie. Get it out, girl.
He is your county official. He is your county commissioner that you see at the grocery store, that you go to church with, that you see at the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
That's a person that you have contact with and access to.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the people who control your everyday stuff.
Yes.
The president has a lot of voice, but at the same time, individually, the president doesn't know you from Adam's off-ox.
Nope.
He doesn't.
Mm-mm.
The fellow who's sitting in the county commissioner's seat, chances are you know him by face.
Yeah.
You've seen him, you've talked to him.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have every county commissioner up there will tell you, come and talk to me.
Yeah.
Call me.
Email me.
Come to the meetings.
Yep.
Come to a county commission meeting. Come to the committee meetings.
Yeah.
These people are your local representatives. We have a representative form of government.
Yep.
That means that person represents you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you voted for him or not, whether you are the same political party or not, he represents you.
Yes.
She represents you.
Mm-hmm.
That's your first line of government.
Yep.
That's the people you need to know. You need to go talk to them.
Yes.
Representative government only works if you tell them what you want.
Yep. And it always starts out, we've said this too on the show, and like with Tom Davis and everybody, it starts with us it starts at the bottom. And I hate saying we're at the bottom, but we're really at the top.
Well, we're at the base.
Yeah.
We
foundation.
Are the base.
Yeah. The base, the foundation. And if we cannot get our local government to an understanding and like to come and make that as important as the presidential stuff, I mean, we're losing. We're losing.
And that's why I think it's so interesting that our November presidential election will always have the biggest turnout.
Yeah.
And our local primaries don't.
No.
They're way down the line.
Wasn't it, you could probably correct me, the last one, it was maybe less than 3,000 or 2,000. It was between 2,000 or 3,000. I want to say
around 3,000.
Yeah.
Voters.
I mean, and that's really low numbers for all the officials that went up for re-election or the newbies that were trying to come in. And it was just so sad that and then of course when the presidential election came and we had 20-something thousand.
Well, not 20. I'd love to have 20.
I can't remember
So we
how
had
many it
over
was.
17.
So it was
In
close
our
to 20.
In our biggest presidential
Yeah.
election, we've had a little over 70% turnout.
Yeah.
Which is fabulous.
Phenomenal.
I love it.
Yes. But the 70% needs to come to the local ones.
I wish they would also participate in your local elections, because that's where your voice is heard.
Duke, you got any questions for Miss Susie this morning?
No, this is just great informative stuff, but yeah, she's right. I mean, you would think you get the bigger turnout locally, especially with, I remember that one year, probably the last year I was involved in an election cycle that would have been, oh my gosh, I can't remember, but like we had all kinds of people running for sheriff and county executive and everything.
I remember that.
And it seemed like we had a little bit better turnout that year than in years past, but it was still a low number. I mean, it might have been 4,000 or 5,000 people, but it was still,
still low.
Yeah. Compared to how many people actually live in the county and in the city, it just blows my mind of why, you hear just about everybody complain about whatever. And then it's just like, you really have the power to change that if you'd like, but you don't for whatever reason. And so it is what it is. It makes no sense.
I agree. All right. Do we need to let you head out? It's 5 till.
Yeah. I'm going to go do some blood work this morning. I've had no coffee, so I'm a little bit of a bear this morning. So,
okay. Love you.
My wife. Pray for my wife. Love y'all too. Peace out. See y'all. Bye.
Because I know he had to dash out pretty quick this morning. But no, this is a very serious topic. Local government, like she said, is the base of the foundation of everything above. That's federal, and again, I always say this, talk to these people. Since I've been a part of the podcast and stuff, every county commissioner, every city alderman, anybody that's in our local government has either A, answered my phone call right away, or B, it was like 2 or 3 days.
They get back to you.
They get back. And I want to tell you that when you dive into local government and local politics here in town, there's more than just one thing happening, unfortunately. There's like 5 or 6 different things going on. And that's low. But just be patient with your local government officials, because they are here to hear your voice. I think the last big thing that was really moving for me here in Warren County was when they were trying. It was the County Powers Act.
The court,
and
brought that along.
Mm-hmm. And you saw the whole room was packed. There was not a stand. That all you could do is standing room only. And to see the movement that made in our community, I know that it divided the community. But this is what government is all about. If we all believed in the same thing, oh, thank you, Susie. We would be boring if everybody wore purple shirts, and wore the same thing, wore hair the same, makeup. We would be bored. This is why it's okay. I always say this. It's okay to agree to disagree. And, whether you liked Trump or whether you liked Biden at the time, well, Biden won the votes. So that's our president at the time. We had to represent him. And then the next election came and it was Trump or Harris. If Harris won, and I know Trump won, that's our president. And it goes back to what you're saying. And I just want to reiterate that we may not like who's in that seat, but that's who was voted. And that's the integrity of our voting system. And if we don't back up our voting system, well, then what are you for?
Well, if the system won this time, if you won in the system this time and you lost in the system the next time, why do you say the system is wrong?
Correct.
It's the same one. We try very hard to have free and fair elections. Yeah. You mentioned the purple shirts.
Yeah.
My election commission wears purple shirts.
Yeah.
Red and blue make purple.
See?
We have a 5-member election commission. Those are my bosses.
Yeah.
We have a 5-member election commission that are appointed by the state election commission, and they represent both parties depending on which party is the majority party in the state legislature, determines whether you have 3 Republicans and 3 Democrats,
Okay.
or 3 Democrats and 2 3 and 2, or
Yep.
3 and 2.
Yeah.
The majority party has the 3 representatives on an election commission. That's the same in every county in Tennessee.
Okay.
And the minority party has 2. Several years ago, the state legislature, the majority party flipped, and at that time, the composition of your election commissions flipped as well.
Okay.
And
And that's just part of the process.
I have 3 commissioners who represent the Republican Party right now, and 2 who represent the Democratic Party.
Okay.
When they walk into that office, they are new. They represent the people of Warren County.
Yeah.
And that's why we choose to wear the purple shirts,
Yeah.
to say we work together.
Yes.
We don't play politics.
No.
If you are eligible to vote in Warren County, we want to make it so that you can easily vote in Warren County.
Yeah.
If you are not eligible, we want to make sure you don't.
Yeah.
One of the things that has been in the news a lot
Mm-hmm.
is the ability of someone who has had a felony conviction to re-register to
Oh,
vote.
that's a big thing. Yes.
A few years ago, 3 years ago, a case went to the state Supreme Court. Up until that time, since 2006, we had a process called a certificate of restoration.
Okay.
Someone who had a felony conviction, who had completed all the restitution in whatever fashion, when they were through with their sentence, they had done everything they were required to do. They were current on their child support, and they had completed everything, was eligible to have this form filled out, take it to the authorities, who could say, yes, they're current, they paid all their court costs. Yes, they have completed all their restitution. Yes, yes, yes. They would submit that to us. We would check it against our records. We would send it to the state office, and they would check. They have a better database than I do.
Yeah.
Obviously, they can go through the DA's office and the TBI and what have you easier than I can. They have that portal. If everything was completed, then they would be able to get their right to vote back.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with rights for anything else.
Yeah.
None of the citizenship rights you lost, just your right to vote. But when that case went to the state Supreme Court, the justices went back and went way back through the election laws, through the felony laws. And they said, wait, in 2006, when you created this process, you did not go back in the state legislature and clarify this other process. Therefore, this process is no longer accurate. You can't do this anymore.
Oh.
So we lost that ability. I know there was paperwork involved. I know folks had to do some things, but there was a essentially simple way to get your right to vote back. Had nothing to do with your rights as a fiduciary, as to hold office, to bear arms. None of those things. Just your right to vote. But the state Supreme Court said, wait, you didn't change this wording for this, so that's void.
Oh.
So at that time, and in their ruling, it stated they must regain all of their rights of citizenship.
Okay.
When you have to have that, among things, you had to have your gun rights restored.
Yeah.
Some people can't get their rights of citizenship restored if it includes restoring gun rights, because they committed a felony that precluded that.
That's right.
Maybe they used a gun in a felony, or it was a violent felony.
A domestic something.
And if that was the case, they couldn't get their right to bear arms back. Well, and so that precluded a whole lot of people from being able to get their rights of citizenship restored.
Yeah.
Now they must go through the circuit court and get their full rights of citizenship restored. Well, this most recent legislative session, they did make a modification to that.
Great.
Now you do have to still go through the circuit court. You have to petition to get your rights of citizenship restored. But if you were restored your right to vote, your right to hold office, your right to fiduciary, whatever, as long as you were restored your right to vote, even if you were not able to be restored your rights to bear arms, you still got your right to citizenship to vote back.
Okay.
And once that is completed, then if they got that back, then they will bring to my office a certified copy of that court order, which we will process our paperwork then and submit that to the state, just the same way we did elsewise. But there is now, FYI for folks who have been wondering about this process, you can go to Cassie Cantrell, the circuit court clerk's office, and she now has a template available. We got that through the GA that has what you have to petition for,
to get your rights.
What you have to do to go to the circuit court and petition for those rights. So this most recent legislative session made that a much simpler process now than it was 2 years ago.
They corrected.
It's not completely back to where it was previously, but it is you've got a step by step.
You
You
don't have to do it all at once now.
How to do this. You can see all the things you need to do. There are timelines and what have you, and that's all spelled out for them. So we don't have it back as simple as it was 4 years ago. But we do have an easier process for people now.
And things do take
come to
time.
my office, call me.
Again, just like the county officials, when I asked Susie, I don't know when it was, maybe it was a month ago, I'm like, hey, when's this date? When's that date? And she like fully educated me and Bernadette at the detention. And we're like, okay. I do want to make a comment. Thanks for everybody watching the show this morning. Eric Durham says we need more accountability between elections. There needs to be ways to put more heat on the representatives between election cycles to fairly represent the people of our county and city. I don't know how to respond to that. What are you meaning?
Are you saying that anything? I don't think he's talking about accountability of elections.
Yeah.
Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're saying that your representatives need to be paying attention to you, whether there's an election coming up or not.
Okay.
I think that's what you're asking.
Not just run for the.
That's not on me.
Yeah, that's not
on our populace and our representatives.
There you go.
Stay connected to them. Just because they're running for office or they're not running for office right now, they're still there and they're still available.
Yeah.
They're not. They don't disappear into the woodwork. Maybe they're not as evident. They're not out there shaking hands, but they're still there. And if you go to the county website, you have contacts for all of your representatives, all your local representatives. Obviously, you can go to the state. You can contact my office. I'll be happy to give you information on them if you need to contact somebody.
And Brian Carr says, great information for the general public to know. Thank you for keeping Tennessee's voting integrity high.
You are very welcome, and we are keep on trying.
We are going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to wrap it up with Miss Susie. She has so much stuff. I love it. You're always informative.
Thank you.
That's why I want you on the show. But yeah, we're going to come right back. But remember, Warren County, keep it first.
1964 to start Ganton Bolden. Now it's Gateway Tire and Service Center. He wanted our customers to have the best products and service at a fair price. That was his motto then, and that still stands today. We promise to be upfront and honest with each and every customer. We'll never try to sell something that our customers doesn't need just to make a buck. If that's what makes us different from our competitors, well, we're just fine with that. Come see us today or give us a call at 931-815-9000.
Come join us at 110 East Main Street for a farm-to-table experience all year long. We offer gluten-free, dairy-free, guilt-free goodness that will leave you feeling energized and satisfied with every bite. Our small batch from-scratch menu bursts with juice, shots, smoothies, soups, wraps, and sandwiches, and more prepared daily to give you all the nutrients your body craves. We never add powdered sugars or anything you can't pronounce, so don't miss out on this delicious, healthy opportunity. Swing by by and indulge in some wholesome goodness today at 110 East Main Street, McMinnville, Tennessee.
Community Network Productions takes you inside each community with local interest stories, local music artists, and information.
With each show, the focus is the people and our beautiful community. With our creative team, we customize unique show ideas with our friends in the community. Our focus is you.
See each of our shows on all social media, including Facebook, Instagram, and at our website at www.communitytvtn.com.
Hey, this is Kevel at the Cafe at Tree City, and I'm happy to say that you can now order all of your favorite espresso drinks online for pickup or curbside delivery. And you can do that by getting on Google, searching the Cafe at Tree City and just clicking online order, or follow our social channels and click on the link in our profile. Come enjoy a drink with us inside for pickup or to go. Hope to see you all soon. Thanks.
Planning an auction? Count on the Get It Done Auction Company. The Donald Hillis Realty and Auction Company. In business since 1991, they specialize in residential and commercial real estate with emphasis on farms and land. They can help you with estate settlements, business liquidations, and farm dispersals, including land, livestock, and equipment. Donald Hillis Realty and Auction Company, representing more and more families in estate auctions each and every day. Call 473-7774 or visit DonaldHillisRealty.com. Firm 2273.
All about serving our Ford and Lincoln family. Enjoy our unbeatable oil change specials. Just $34.95 up to 6 quarts for synthetic blends and $119.95 up to 13 quarts for diesels. No appointment necessary. Plus, we offer convenient pickup and delivery services for everything from oil change to rapid repairs. Need battery replacements or wipers? We've got you covered with our mobile service.
Jonathan Beavers. I'm the new sales manager here at Reddick Brown Ford on Highway 55. I'm born and raised here my whole life. I'm very supportive and dedicated with over 10 years of automotive experience. Check out our expanding pre-owned inventory on our website or come drive by, and we'd also be happy to appraise your vehicle.
To check out our new service department. We have 2 new advisors, 1 new parts counter staff, and some fresh faces on our pickup and delivery team. We're excited to offer you even better service with our expanded team. Join the Reddick Brown Ford family today. Call or text us at 931-668-2177. Experience transparency and carefree service like never before. Your satisfaction is our priority. We want to be your #1 local go-to dealership.
Good morning, Warren First 931. I'm your host of the show, Kelly Walker Slaughter, alongside my beautiful co-host at this point, Susie Davenport, that is full of vast information about the election commission office and more. Right quickly, before I forget to do a quick shout out, thank you to Reddick Brown Ford for being our community weather sponsors. And currently in downtown McMinnville, it is 79 degrees with a high of 84 and a low of 71. There is, unfortunately, a 70% chance of thunderstorms and showers. Some clouds I'm looking at were just like yesterday. It wasn't bad, but we might see or hear some heat lightning spells, I think, like yesterday. It was
Some places got rain.
some did
places
get
got
rain.
downpours.
Yeah, we did it in Chills Ford, and I know I didn't when I was at swim team, but I think Morrison and some other locations got it. But again, right now there is a 70% chance of thunderstorms and showers. So wear accordingly. Have your rain boots, rain jacket, and your umbrella in your car at all times. And if you're like some people I've been seeing, shout out to the Amish folks with your kayaks on your wagons. I love seeing that because I'm assuming that was during when it was really bad, like day after day after day. And I'm like, why would they do it? And I asked somebody, and they said, well, if they get caught and they can't go across the road, they have their kayaks to go across.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, whatever you got to do, boo boo.
I
But
figured it was the boys going to the river, but
no, it wasn't. No,
Okay.
it's if they get stuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
And then they said that I think what they do is, he said they tie the rope to the horse because if it's not too deep for the horses, because they check how deep it is, they help like lead
Help
the
keep the buggy on
yeah.
upstream and let the horse come on across. With
That's
it.
right.
That's
yeah.
That is interesting.
So
That's
hey,
very
make it
interesting.
work. Make it work. So real quickly, any other upcoming dates or anything
Well,
else you want to end with us?
Let me give you a little upcoming. Obviously,
Okay.
there are no elections in 2025 in Warren County.
That's right.
Our next election tentatively is our countywide primaries, which will be May 5th of 2026. The local parties have to call for a primary.
Okay.
We don't automatically have that. It is up to the local parties to call a primary, and they will tell us which offices to put on those primaries.
Okay.
Generally, up until 2021, school boards could not run partisan.
Okay.
Now they can. Sometimes they have chosen to put them on the ballot. Sometimes they've not. That'll be up to the parties whether they choose to do that or not. The constables usually are not on the primary ballot, and they run as independents in August. But that's if there a few years ago, one of the party's letters said all countywide offices, and that meant that the constables had to run on the primaries that time.
Oh, wow.
Most chose to still run as independents, but they could have been on a primary as well.
Okay.
And there were a few offices that were. It's up to the parties, local parties, to call a primary or not.
Okay.
When they call it, they will let my office know which races will be on that. This coming year, all of our countywides, except the property assessor, will be up for re-election.
Right.
And school board seats 1, 3, and 5
Okay.
are up for re-election in 2026. We will, of course, have U.S. representative and state representatives. Our state senator ran last year, so they won't be on the 2026. They won't be up until 2028. But those sheriff, road superintendent, county executive, county commissioners, all of those offices, trustee, both clerk's offices, those will all be up on 2026.
Okay.
If the parties call for primaries, a couple of years ago, at one point, the Republican Party called for a caucus. And because they did that, then there was a piece of legislation this last session that if a party had not had a caucus in the past, they would have to do a primary instead.
Okay.
But because our Republican Party locally had done that, they do still have that option. I don't know what they'll choose to do, but they could still call a caucus, whereas a Democratic Party, up until 2024, none of our parties had called for a caucus ever.
Right.
Not, as far as I know, not ever.
Not to my knowledge either. I know what you're talking about.
And but they did that in 24, and therefore they are eligible to still continue to do caucuses if they choose. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how they're going to work with that, but that's a possibility. Mm-hmm. Instead of having a primary, or in conjunction with having a primary, they could caucus for some offices to have a primary for others.
Okay.
But then in August, we will have our general election. Mm-hmm. Whoever wins the primaries or the caucuses will run against one another in the general election in August. And anybody who's running as an independent won't go on the ballot until August. they will start picking up petitions, the 22nd of December, if there's a primary, or in February if there's not. But so those offices they'll pick up petitions. They'll get 25 signatures from whatever jurisdiction they're running in. If it's a countywide office, they can get them from all over the county. If it's a county commission seat that represents one district, then they have to come from that district.
Yeah.
If they're a city office, they'd have to come from the city, inside the city limits. You know, the jurisdictions that you represent, that's where your signatures can come from.
Okay.
And those have to be registered voters in your jurisdiction. And that petition will come back to our office. We will compare those signatures. Yes, we have signatures on file. Yes,
this goes
we
back
have
to the
done
integrity thing all over. Yes,
ma'am. You know, if we tell our people, you know, secretaries can't sign for bosses, bosses can't sign for secretaries, spouses can't sign for spouses.
Yep.
Mama can't sign for all 3 registered kids.
No.
You know, a kid can't sign for mama. You've got to be this registered voter yourself, who is representing yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know, they can fill out everything for you, but you've got to do the signature.
Yeah.
And we have some folks that we see their signatures often, and we know that that's your, you know, you see my signature. You can't read it, but you know it's mine because it's the same all the time.
All the time.
It's got those characteristics. We have a lot of folks, you know, and a lot of folks, we see them regularly. We're familiar with that signature, but we have our records. Yeah. We have your last signature on file. We're going to compare that.
Yeah.
If it's got a big loop here and a big period there and what have you, and it never has in any of your previous signatures,
double check.
It might be somebody else signing it for you, and we're going to question it.
Yeah.
So get the extra signatures. Don't just get 25. You got to have 25 good ones. Some people move.
Yeah.
They're still in Warren County, but they've moved outside their jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Maybe they were registered in the 5th district. Now they live in the 3rd. Fella comes around for 3rd district. He signs her petition.
Yeah.
That one can't be counted because he's not registered in her district.
No.
So if you're gonna move, update your registration.
Yep.
You know, stay current. That way you can help out the person that you want to get voted in. And you're not saying you're going to vote for somebody if you sign their petition. You're saying, I don't care if you're on the ballot. Let me help you get on the ballot.
And, you know, speaking of registration, can people register to vote now?
Yes,
if they're not if you are not a registered, because I always like asking when I have Susie and like the county officials with us, because when is the cutoff? Because I know we were just talking about earlier, like, you know, they cut off registration to vote 30 days ahead. So what is the last day, do you know, that you can
The last day that you could register to vote and be eligible to vote in the May 5th primary is April 6th.
Okay, of 2026.
Of 2026.
Okay.
So
I love that. It's going to rhyme, and everybody should remember that. April 6th, 2026.
There you go.
And I will also say this, because we've talked about this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. If you are turning 18, like say April the 7th,
get registered ahead of time.
You can register ahead of time with all your information, because do not wait between April the 6th and May the 5th to vote, you know, to register to vote, because you turned 18 in those time frames.
If your birthday is on April 5th, if you turn in your registration before, May 5th. If your birthday is on May 5th.
Yeah, May 5th.
If your birthday is on election day, you can be 18 you will be eligible to vote on election day if you registered. Register before April 6th. That's the cutoff.
And I still
if
have the
your
app.
birthday's not until then, you can do that. Go votetn.gov.
Yeah, I have it. So I want to show y'all. It's a real cool app, and I absolutely love mine. It's called Go Vote TN. You can actually register on the app.
If you have a signature on file with your driver's license, with Homeland Security, with an ID through Homeland Security, you can register to vote online.
Yep.
You won't be in person.
No.
You're still going to have to do that. And
you still have a little process.
You still have to provide a photo ID when you come to vote. Doesn't matter if you've been registered and voting for the last 40 years. You still have to show a photo ID when you come to vote.
Sorry. I want to. Sorry to cut you off. With the star,
Star has
Nothing to do with voting. Okay, because sometimes people ask me,
Yes.
like, because I had to get the star because I was flying out of state, so I had to get my license updated. Or flying out of country, actually.
If you want to go onto a federal reservation, whether it's the federal courthouse in Nashville or Chattanooga or Fort Campbell, or or get on a plane, that's what your Real ID does. That doesn't have anything to do with your voting.
Okay, good. I needed to ask that because somebody did say I can't go because I didn't get the star yet. And I was like, that doesn't have anything to do with it.
You still have your state issued or federally issued photo ID. That's acceptable. Your passport is acceptable for voting. Your passport, your government issued ID, federal or state. For example, if you are faculty or staff at a state college, not low.
Okay.
If you are faculty or staff there, your ID with your picture on it isn't acceptable because it's issued by the state of Tennessee.
Well, there you go.
If you are a faculty member at Swanee, it is not, because that's not a state school.
Yeah.
It has, if you are working for a contractor at AEDC, if the FDA is who issued your ID, it's acceptable. If the contractors who issued your ID, it is not.
Okay.
And we do training with poll workers every election. Anything's new and different, we're going to update their information. They have lists of what's available, what IDs are acceptable, and they don't.
They are not open yet. They don't open up till 11. You're okay.
They have
Vanilla
lists.
Beans open.
They have, and if they don't know, they'll look it up. And if they're still not sure, they're going to call me.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, hey, I've got an ID for this. It's from here. Does it count? Does it not? And we'll be able to tell them. We train on that every time.
Are you looking for more volunteers when
We're
it comes
always
to the polls?
looking for poll workers. We need good poll workers. We need people with legible handwriting who can make their numbers readable. We need people who can communicate with the public well. You have to be a registered voter.
Okay.
We can use poll, except there are exceptions to registered voter.
Okay.
If you are under 18, if you are 16 or above, you are eligible to apply to be a poll worker.
Oh.
You can.
How neat is that? For
Hey,
kids
you also
that are
get
involved in government.
Hey, you also get an excused absence from school.
True that. A school-sponsored excuse.
Or if you are doing community service work, say for Beta or what have you, you can do that.
That's neat. I didn't know that.
Say you need 4 hours Beta. I can give you 4 hours of Beta for that work in that day.
Wow.
You can do your community involvement hours by working election.
With that also said,
you do have to come to
Tennessee
training.
Achieves.
Tennessee Achieves has to have
They have to have
community
service hours as well.
Tennessee Promise. Those all require community service hours. National Beta requires community service hours. You got in trouble. You still have to do community service hours.
It's better than picking up trash.
You missed curfew, whatever you did on the Halloween.
Air conditioning facilities.
True.
Not in every one poll. I know some churches had some bad air conditioning one year, but
they have air
fixed
conditioning,
it.
but maybe it doesn't make you so cold in some places.
Yes, that's a good way.
Or so warm. I mean, a lot of our elections are in cold weather.
That
then
is
you
true.
need heat.
Yeah.
But we do try to make sure that our facilities where we hold our elections are, for one thing, they have to be ADA compliant.
Okay.
We do have to be able to provide facilities for our workers.
Yeah.
There have to be restrooms for the workers. There have to be, there has to be shelter.
Yeah.
The basics.
Yeah.
But we do survey every polling place. It has to be ADA compliant.
Okay.
If there is a threshold that could stop a walker, then I've got to put a ramp over that threshold so that they can get in.
To provide that for them,
We have all sorts of measurements.
I love it.
So we
again,
try to take
this
care
is
of
year
folks.
round.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, and again, any information you want to ask the Election Commission's office, call them.
931-473-5834. Call me.
And what the reason I wanted to say why we had Miss Susie on today's show is because we're going to start doing Super Tuesdays. And that's what we're going to call it, Super Tuesdays, because, that's the little pun with the voting and stuff. But we're going to start having elected officials or people that are running and or that are still in the seat that might be rerunning to come in and we're going to ask them the same questions to get to know your representative better, essentially. And then if you missed it on the podcast, all the stuff that Susie talked about today is going to be going into next week's newspaper article. And if you haven't got this week's newspaper, it is out and about. We got some out yesterday. The printer was on slow. And so, but I love my girls, love them so dearly. But we got them out yesterday and today, this morning, they're getting out. But we have the article, the press release that Susie sent to all of us. And you need to read that. For Eric, if you're still watching, for people like Eric and Brian and Retha, tag people in this and get them more involved. It really takes a whole tribe to get one person involved. I mean, ever since we've been raising kids, I know Susie's it takes a tribe to raise a kid. And so I always say it takes a tribe to get the word out, to let people know what is going on in the community. We can't just rely. I always say with every one negative comment, there needs to be 2 to 5 positive ones like, hey, man, this is what, you know what I mean? And so there is things that are going on, whether you want to say it's behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, but 9 times out of 10, a lot of these meetings, whether they're committee meetings or subcommittee meetings, they are public domain.
All of them.
Everybody, it blows my mind how much I've been going to these subcommittees, and the only people that show up are the people that are in the committee members. And then there's maybe 1 to 3 people. And I'm like, man, and those people are there because they have something to talk about, like a proposal or like, hey, I need you to get involved with this. And so I'm just telling you, if you want to be involved in your town, in your community, you have to be involved. And if you can't be there present, you have to call them and you have to email them, whatever's the easiest way. And I also tell this to people all the time when I run into them. They're like, Kelly, I'm just so busy. I can't do this, but here's my problems I'm having. At the end of the day, guys, I'm going to say this. If you want to change something, you have to make time for it. If it is so important to you, you would make it happen.
Well, if they're telling it to you, they could go tell it to them.
Correct. And I don't mind you telling it to me because then when I run into the guys, I'm like, hey, da-da-da-da-da. But it's so much more, it speaks more volumes when you as the individual call them instead of the same face all the time. That's just truth.
Well, if you've got an issue with something, if you tell somebody else and somebody else tells them, they don't have that feedback from you. They might want to ask you a question. They might want to know
more details.
What in particular is taking place?
Yep.
Why is this an issue? What I got wasn't it, but flesh it out for them. Tell them what's going on. And that will make a lot more impact than chatting about it.
Yes, I love that. Instead of creating some chatter, you need to go and talk to the horse's mouth themselves. I've always thought that. And I know it's not everybody's cup of tea to have those conversations, but I'm telling you, every city, every county, every official that's at their jobs, that's why they're getting paid. You gotta tell them.
Come and talk to me.
Yeah.
Don't talk about me. Talk to me.
Yes. I love that shirt. Anything else before I let you go?
I think we're good.
Okay. Well, let me get this queued up because I have been running on 9s all week. But guys, remember, we got more stuff to come on this show. And remember, Warren County, keep it first.
Welcome to our coffee drive-thru, located at 601 Beersheba Highway, McMinnville, or give them a call at 474-1776. At Our Coffee, we pour love into every cup of coffee we serve. Welcome to our coffee drive-thru, located at 601 Beersheba Highway, McMinnville.
Don't know what to eat? Have you tried Cumberland Biscuit Company or Topz Frozen Yogurt and Metro Deli? Down on Main, you can enjoy pizzas and sandwiches, weekly combo specials, soups, salads, and finish it up with Topz Frozen Treats. On the weekends, check out Cumberland Biscuit Company's unique dishes like the Twisted Goat Burger or the Bambushka Burger for lunch or dinner. Get the experience of going out of town right here in McMinnville, down on Main. Follow Topz and Cumberland Biscuit Company on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
When you need help with your medical needs, who are you going to call? At Stacy's Wellness Pharmacy, you're not just a number, you're a part of our community. When you call Stacy's Wellness Pharmacy, you'll get a live person to help answer your medical questions. In a hurry? Try our convenient drive-thru. Not able to get out? We offer free delivery within the city limits. Stacy specializes in Mr. Stewart's over-the-counter and prescription cough syrups. Need to transfer your prescriptions? It's no trouble to transfer to Stacy's, where people care and wellness matters. Stacy's Wellness Pharmacy is located at 485 North Chancery Street, or give them a call at 474-0600.
Craving the best barbecue in the South? Look no further than Prater's Barbecue in Morrison. Whether you're dining in or taking out, we've got something for everyone.
From our mouth-watering brisket, baby back ribs, juicy ribeye steaks, specialty sandwiches, and fried chicken tenders, your taste buds are in for a treat.
Don't forget our weekly specials. Monday, spaghetti or hamburger steak. Tuesday, meatloaf or barbecue chicken pork. Wednesday, pork loin or Salisbury steak. Thursday, smoked chicken house or country fried steak. Friday, fried catfish or Cajun catfish on rice.
Whether you're feeding hundreds at a company picnic or meeting a friend for lunch, you can count on Prater's to satisfy your taste buds.
Call us at 635-2259 and taste the tradition at Prater's Barbecue. 30 years of excellence.
Hey, this is Kevel at the Cafe at Tree City, and I'm happy to say that you can now order all of your favorite espresso drinks online for pickup or curbside delivery. And you can do that by getting on Google, searching the Cafe at Tree City and just clicking online order, or follow our social channels and click on the link in our profile. Come enjoy a drink with us inside for pickup or to go. Hope to see you all soon. Thanks.
Visit Randall Walker Farms at 8240 Manchester Highway in Morrison, Tennessee. From fresh plants to seasonal favorites, we have everything you need to beautify your home or project, available for both retail and wholesale. Looking for something sweet? Don't miss out on our delicious frozen blueberries. Stop by and see us 6 days a week, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. For more information, call 931-635-9535 or email rwalkerfarms@benlomond.net. Get ready with Randall Walker Farms, where planning begins.
Maybe you should go there. Hey guys, welcome back to Warren First 931, host of the show. Currently in downtown McMinnville, we are at, let me pull this weather up. It's 80 degrees. Today's high is 84. Tonight's low is 71. Remember, there is a 70% chance of rain this week. And thunderstorm, or today I should say. And thanks again to Reddick Brown Ford for being our community weather sponsors. Now, this morning I got a beautiful phone call. I'm about to knock my stuff over. I'm just going to adjust this. Now, Nancy, you're going to have to get in. All right. Look at that. I'm just going to be on the side today. Y'all are the cream de la. I love y'all's outfit. This is beautiful.
Thank you.
But I got a phone call this morning saying, "Hey, I need your help." Let's just call it what that was. And I was like, "What's going on?" And they said that there's an event going on with Home, and somebody from France was coming. It was like a whole thing, and I was just like, "What? What?" And then I missed the date where they said it was on Saturday, and I'm like, well, hey, won't we get together and we'll pick when you pick out the date? And they're like, no, it's Saturday. And I'm like, this Saturday? And they're like, yeah. So anyways, here we go. This is how we're live. So y'all introduce yourselves and who y'all are with.
I'm Nancy McNeil, and I'm the board secretary of Homeless of McMinnville effort.
Okay.
My name is Carrie Stewart, and I'm a volunteer with Home.
Oh, awesome. So there is a big event that is happening this Saturday.
That's right.
And please, I mean, I know, first of all, I think it's kind of neat. Somebody from France is coming here. Who's the relative of that?
Jeremy Venable is my brother.
Okay.
And he's a missionary in France, and they've lived there for roughly 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
And he does music.
Mm-hmm.
He's a singer, and he and his whole entire family do music together.
Yeah.
So I asked him if he would be willing to perform for Home, and he said absolutely. And he's coming to visit, so it was a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, I love that. And so when he comes, is he just going to come to, where's he going to go? Where's the location at, first and foremost? And what time does all this festivity start?
Well, we are having our grand opening celebration at our location on Smithville Highway, which is in the same building as the Shop 2.
Okay.
We've been called the Shop ever since we opened last July. We're having an anniversary.
Yeah.
And we got moved in time to celebrate our anniversary in our new shop, which, as I said, is in the same building.
Mm-hmm.
They are at 1700 Smithville Highway. We're at 1704.
Wow.
So we can actually trade back and forth with volunteers if we need to.
Yeah.
And we have a warehouse area in the back of Shop 2. So that's where our storage is for bringing out new donations. And I have a little statement that I'd like to read about Home, just so that everyone is aware. Our goal is to both grow and employ the people that we serve. We have a tiny home community. We have out on Sunset Point, which is wonderful. We have a women and children's shelter, which is getting ready to move to Sunset Point. We have a new house there that we've got to finish some work on. And the shops right now are largely run by volunteers. Connie Fox and I are the managers of the two shops. And we use them to generate funds for Home. Our mission is to provide shelter and bridge the gap. That's our slogan. We're bridging the gap. So, but we don't just provide immediate shelter and transitional housing, but we also provide some employment opportunities. We have at least 2 people who are living in housing right now with us who are working for Home / the shops and getting some income that way, which was really a hope that we had from the very beginning. And then we also help people find jobs. We help them find housing when they're ready. The donations that come into our shops, we always tell new people who come in that all of us are volunteers. We pay, like I said, a couple of our people whom we're serving, and a couple of young women on Saturdays to help with the shops. But the donations don't just supply our shops, but they supply clothing and all kinds of necessities for the people that we serve. First United Methodist does work with us for the people who are, we call them chronically homeless, and they have a big donation room, and their members help supply that, as does Home. Our property manager at Prosperity Point, which is on Sunset Point Road, our tiny homes, we're really proud of him. He's just obtained his own housing, and those donations helped us in supplying furniture and things that he needed to set up his home, and more importantly, begin a new life. So the donations that come into the shop are just amazing. So we opened last Friday for a preview day of the new Shop 1, new location for Shop 1. And so we wanted to have a grand opening celebration. And yesterday we didn't know it, but Carrie had asked her brother if he might come and provide some entertainment.
Yeah.
And he said, I sure will.
I love
and
it.
we were all just thrilled. So our grand opening celebration is this Saturday. And in addition to having entertainment, we're also going to offer 25% off all home goods, including glassware.
Oh, wow.
And we will also be providing snacks and refreshments to celebrate. And we'll be introducing our tea bar. We're going to have an iced tea bar where we have added flavors. So if you love strawberry lemonades or strawberry tea, then we're going to have tasting time for all of that.
I love that.
But I'd like to get back to Carrie. She has such a musical background, and she has been a singer for a long time, and her brother and her sister both do so. So I'd like for her to tell a little bit more about their family music and especially her brother's music.
Yeah, go for it, girl.
My brother is, he just has a very, very good voice and does country music. He's also leads a lot of worship songs because he's been a worship leader for years, and he will not disappoint.
Okay. And talk about yourself. I want to hear you brag a little bit about you.
She won't.
Well,
I know. She went right to the brother.
We will. Let me tell you, as far as a volunteer, Carrie came in one day and my sister, Carol Cathcart, said, do you have any time to volunteer with us? Because she's a little bit more forward than I am in asking for things like that. And Carrie's answer was, I think I would love that. So,
yeah, and that's what. And I heard all about their ministry and their mission statement, and I had been looking for something to pour myself into.
Yeah.
You know, now I have extra time. I don't have a full-time or part-time job, and it was the perfect thing for me to give my precious time and energy to, because that's the way I feel about my time now.
Yeah. So do you and your brother and sisters, do y'all sing together?
We have in the past, but since my brother has been in France, he's had his children with him.
Yeah.
And that's who he's been mostly singing with. But I think I'm going to try to do a song with him.
You
at least.
Think you should.
By request. By request.
I'm already requesting one right now.
It depends on how my voice acts, because I
thing.
had laryngitis and then it's just slowly coming back.
I get it.
Hoping for the best.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that the honey tea and the I do a medicine ball with peppermint and stuff at the Vanilla Bean. They save my life every time.
Kelly is a singer.
Yeah.
You are too.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
But when you said the laryngitis, that's a thing. Like when you have laryngitis as a singer and on top of that, you're talking all day, it really strains your voice. You don't realize how important your vocal cords are, not just in the singing world.
Right.
And so I've actually had to turn down a couple of gigs because I was hurting. So,
wow.
But hey, if I'm out there, I will definitely like sing a tune with you. I'll be your backup, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That would be fun.
I'm a great alto.
Me, I'm an alto as well.
Okay, see something. No, but
I told her that he has to do at least one sing-along.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So that everybody can
enjoy
sing.
it.
Yeah.
I would love that. So, what's some of the songs people know that your brother might sing? What's some of the songs he sings that people may know?
One
'Cause you say
video.
country.
Yeah, one video that I let them listen to yesterday was "Don't Close Your Eyes," and Chattahoochee.
Okay. Perfect for the holiday way. Yeah.
We have to have some upbeat tunes as well.
Yes.
But anyway,
This is going to be great. So, with this happening this weekend, and I want to tell everybody, if you've not been to the shop or shop 2, you definitely need to be there. I'm going to turn this around because I'm in the middle of renovating, building a home. And the other day, a couple weeks ago, I saw these glass, or I don't want to say glass, but it looks like stone in shop 2, stone sinks. Like there's stone bowl sinks that sit on a, and I go, Sheila, are these for sale? And she goes, yes. And I said, okay, they're $35, right? She goes, yeah. And I go, $35 each? She goes, no, total. And I'll go, what? So listen, if you're a subcontractor on a budget or the main contractor, go to these thrift stores because they had a ton of like sink stuff, light tapestries, whatever you want to call them stuff. I'm telling you, it was like a find that day. I was like, because I have 2 guest bathrooms. Those are where the sinks are going. And I can't wait to take a picture of it and be like, look what I found at Shop 2 and made it into, you know, but it's going to be a minute because we just got electrical up. But
I tell you, the donations that we get are absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
We get beautiful crystal. We get fine china.
Yeah.
And we have been able to sell it, and it just keeps our bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, keeps us afloat because it is expensive to have the Prosperity Point and the women's shelter.
Yes.
It's expensive, but our God meets our needs every time with wonderful donations.
Yeah.
And we're so thankful.
And not only do they have stuff like that in the shops, guys, they have what are the not bedding, but the bedding rails, this, you know, if you need, are you looking for a new bed frame?
Yes.
They got bed frames, they have tables, they have everything you need and then some to start your home. I mean, if you're looking for that shabby chic country modern look, they have it. Because the other day I saw this a light thing, it looks like a not chrome, but it's like a rusty gold look. And I thought, oh my God, I already know where that could go.
It could go in your front hall.
It could go in my front hall.
It's
It could also
beautiful.
go in a guest bathroom. Just change, you know, because I want one room look bougie. Let me just already say this now, and that you can do bougie on a budget.
You can.
I'm just, it's
And
not hard.
for our bougie ladies, we have designer purses that people donate. And
we have beautiful jewelry.
Yeah.
Jewelry.
We have good shoes,
Shoes.
really
Yeah.
nice shoes. Those purses, I mean, people donate Coach and Liz.
Wow.
And help me.
Michael Kors. We have
yes,
Michael Kors.
some beautiful Michael Kors. And people come in and say, that's how much?
Yeah.
You know, because we look them up to see what the value is. And then we mark them down. And people come in and are thrilled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you, it's this holiday season, instead of spending some money on the 4th of July savings, it's like a double whammy. You can go to Shop 1 and Shop 2 and donate, you know, pay for those cool wanted kind of items and donate to a cause.
Yes. And people love that too. They'll say, not only is this a great buy, but I'm so glad the money is going to serve people who are unsheltered in Warren County, because that is who we serve.
That's true. And I want to make clear that on this too, with home and stuff, this is not a handout to them. This is a hand up. They have to work their way up through each step of the process to get where they are, because, you know, just like any situation, when you lose your job or your home or whatever the case may be, you really are starting over from scratch, and you're rebuilding not only the stuff around you, but you're rebuilding yourself.
Absolutely.
And that takes time.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It takes time. And sometimes it takes much more than just a second chance. It may take a third or fourth.
Mm-hmm. I see that all the time.
Yes.
Anything else before I let you ladies go? Because I'm going to stick we are going to have a quick meeting after this, so y'all got to stick around. But anything else before I let y'all go?
We just are grateful that you have shared.
Anytime.
And our upcoming grand opening.
Listen, I was grateful y'all called me this morning and said, okay, y'all want to come on this morning? It's like, oh, it's this Saturday.
It is
Let's go.
Saturday.
So don't forget, this Saturday, starting at what time?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Well, now we open at 9.
I was going to
start at
1 o'clock. Is that when the grand opening ceremonies and stuff?
We're not much on ceremonies.
Okay.
We will just be celebrating.
Celebrating all day. It's going to be
Yes,
like a
we
party.
will.
Oh,
It's-
well, I
it's
celebrate
going
all
to
month if
be
it's my
a
birthday
party.
now.
That's
Come on.
right. That's right.
Today's my last day, I think, if I'm right on my time.
We will be closed Friday on the 4th.
Okay.
But
That
then
makes
we will-
sense.
We will be open for the celebration on Saturday.
Okay, guys, if you have any questions about home and what they are doing in the community, or if you want to volunteer, because I'm assuming you're always also looking for volunteers as well, make sure you check them out, as I'm trying to multitask at the same time. This is how I roll. But again, I appreciate them coming on the show with me. And ladies, just stick around because we got more to chat about as well. But remember, Warren County, keep it first.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has been serving the people of this region for 53 years, and we are fully committed to the people and the communities that place their trust in us. McMinnville and Warren County is just one of the 9 counties that we serve. With 4 convenient branch locations, along with 7 ATM and ITM locations, you can be assured that Citizens Tri-County Bank is close by. Committed to you and committed to the communities we serve. It truly is what makes Citizens Tri-County Bank the only community bank you will ever need. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
February is the month of delicious deals at Sonic Drive-In in McMinnville. Get ready to treat yourselves. Starting February the 24th, cool down with their delicious, refreshing strawberry mangonada slush. Perfect for those sunny days. Start your day right with our special drink offer until 10 a.m. Make Sonic your rise and shine morning destination. So many flavors to choose from. And remember, we've got the best sun drop in town. Dive into these amazing deals this February at Sonic Drive-In.
This is David Moore with Supreme Building Products. We've been your one-stop shopping center for lumber and building supplies since 1963. We're a family-owned business and operated and proudly served Warren counties for over 50 years. At Supreme, it's not just about great prices, but it's about exceptional service. Our customers are what's always supreme. From lumber to roofing to plumbing and paint, we have everything you need to build your dream home from the ground up. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner or a weekend warrior, our knowledgeable staff is ready to assist you at our state-of-the-art drive-through lumberyard. Visit us, please, at the corner of Highway 70 and North Spring Street. There's something for everyone at Supreme Building Products, where quality and customers come first, and the coffee's always free. And always be sure to shop local. Call us, please, at 473-9564.
Spring is here, and so are your yard care needs. Visit McMinnville Lawn and Garden at 129 Keel Drive, where we've been serving our community since 1995. With a rock-solid reputation for excellent service, our dedicated team is here to help you find the best lawnmowers, leaf blowers, chainsaws, weed eaters, and more. We proudly carry top brands like Echo, Stihl, Shindala, Gravely, Cub Cadet, and Skag. Take advantage of our early spring service, free pickup, and a discount on service. Plus, from chainsaws to gardening tools, we've got you covered for storm season. Trust the experts at McMinnville Lawn and Garden, where quality and customer satisfaction come first. Call us today at 815-5296.
Hey, this is Kevel at the Cafe at Tree City, and I'm happy to say that you can now order all of your favorite espresso drinks online for pickup or curbside delivery. And you can do that by getting on Google, searching the Cafe at Tree City and just clicking online order, or follow our social channels and click on the link in our profile. Come enjoy a drink with us inside for pickup or to go. Hope to see you all soon. Thanks.
Welcome back, Warren First 931ers. I'm host of your show, Kelly Walker Slaughter, alongside my good friend Melody Krim by vis-a-vis phone. Hey, girl, hey. So again, there's so many stuff going on today, guys, and I'm gonna actually grab a newspaper right quick, Melody. I forgot to grab it. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, so I don't want to confuse anybody, but the newspapers are out and about today. As of yesterday afternoon and this morning, Kaysen and my son Walker have been doing their doorstep deliveries as well as their deliveries to all the businesses downtown. And this week, I just put the fireworks celebrations, the complete list for everything going on in Warren County. So starting off right here at this top corner, this is in Centertown. Their events start on July the 3rd. You can read all about it on the front page, followed by all the downtown events going on right here. And this is the schedule of the 2025 downtown events that go on down here on Main Street. And then if you wanted to know, some people are like, Kelly, I need more details about the Yankee Doodle Parade. That's hence why we put this up here for the Junior Auxiliary. And then there's going to be a little gap between the festivities and a little after once the pageant of Mr. and Mrs. or Mr. and Ms. Stars and Stripes pageant is over, which starts at 11. There's going to be a gap, and then you need to go back to the Independence Day Freedom Fest celebration on Friday, and that's all going to start at 5 o'clock, okay? And so that's a little gap. Then, to continue on, as you can see on the next page, which, of course, you're not going to see it too great because of the sun, we got all the Midway festivities that's happening on the 4th, followed by the 4th of July event going on at Collins River. Was also, they let us know about it. And then on July the 5th is the 4th of July events going on in the Morrison area. And so, like you guys asked, we made the correction and fixed it. The baby show is going to start right after the opening ceremonies in Morrison on July 5th. And if you have not got your fireworks, please go to our folks at Harrison Ferry Fireworks at 180 Tin House Road in McMinnville. Again, all proceeds of the fireworks sales are going to help the Harrison Ferry Viola Fire Department. They on a recently purchased fire truck, because fire trucks are not cheap at all. But as you can see, we got everything in there about the Main Street live event with Battle of the Bands. Thanks for Melody for being out there for that. If you want to become the best grill master, I got tips and tricks also in there for you. I also have our what we talked with Miss Susie Davenport's in there about their big event and more. The Viola Stars and Stripes. I want to do another shout out because me and Melody did talk about this to Matt and Anna Sands' mama as she won the she was one of the queens that won the night of the adult prom. We talked about that. And then we did of course, the immediate release from Jackie Matheny Jr. and Chief of Police Nicole Mosley on the big drug bust that happened last week. And we did some more tips about fireworks and more. The Business Buzz page, guys, check it out, courtesy of the Chamber of Commerce. And don't forget, we do have classifieds ads for sale if you want that. And then don't forget, because I'm all about helping something, and not just humans, animals as well. Every animal needs a second chance. Here's the first 4 for this week's article. You can check them out if you are thinking about adopting. And then, of course, the good old Farmer's Almanac. Now, this one for this week is all about the July 4th issue. So all the dates that is or all the stuff talked about in this almanac is for July the 4th, this Friday. And last but definitely not least, check out Kelly's Picnic Picks. It's 3 amazing blueberry recipe desserts. Some are easy, some aren't. But if you're also looking for some fresh blueberries, which are daggum delicious, let me tell you, because I go out in my backyard every day and pick them, is Randall Walker Farms has blueberries for sale. Make sure you go and get yours while they got them. They are going fast. So you can buy them by the quarts. You can buy them by the gallons. Get them while you can. They're located, of course, at, I'm going to say the wrong address, and I've worked there all my life, 8240 Manchester Highway. Sorry, Mom. Love you. But yes, make sure you get this week's Warren First, the local voice edition. Now, they are located at 15 plus locations you can choose from, or you can actually get this delivered to your doorstep for just $2 a week. And if you're interested in doorstep delivery, text the keyword doorstep to 931-369-3050. And you just put your address, your name and phone number on there, and we'll add you to the list. And the last day of deliveries, if you want to get one this week, will be Thursday. We're not going to deliver any more after Thursday because I do know people come last minute. And this morning, Miss Pat, the paper was delivered yesterday afternoon and this morning. The printer service was on a little bit of a technical delay, which happens. It's okay. So you should get it today, at least, if you haven't checked your door yet. Good morning to Danielle Junta. Love you, girl. And thanks to everybody that commented and came on the show today. Wrapping up the show with me is Melody Krim. Sorry, Melody. You know we're always full of something. We got to get it out. So tell everybody real quickly other events going on besides the downtown stuff.
Okay, hang on.
You're good.
So we had talked about theater camp is starting next week. Please make sure to sign up your kids for that. It's a week of fun. I mean, you drop them off at 8:30. I can't remember right now. Sorry, guys. Kelly kind of threw me into this last minute. My brain. I'm trying to switch gears.
It's okay.
But we pick them up at 3. But it's a lot of fun. They make a lot of great memories, and they make a lot of new friends. It's a great time. I'm actually currently editing the pictures from the first week that just concluded. Okay. Which wasn't even a consecutive week, but it was still, the kids had a blast. It was a lot of fun. And I will tell you, Kennette Dixon reached into my childhood trauma and pulled a sound out that I never thought in my life I would hear again.
Yeah.
Those kids played Hot Cross Buns on the recorder. I didn't even know they still made recorders. Wow. I was like, what is happening? I was like, wait a minute. But it was a lot of fun. I know the kids had a good time, and I know a lot of them are gearing up to come back for week 2. So that's happening. Let's see what we've got. The Easton.
Yeah, Easton and Friends on July 19th.
Yes, that is coming up. Let's see what else. Second Saturday is next Saturday, the 12th. Don't forget about that. Also, don't forget Main Street Live is not downtown on the grassy lot this week. It is moving over to the Civic Center. They are joining in with all of the festivities going on there. Once again, Joe Harvey Band is going to rock out for 4th of July. This has become a tradition at this point. They always do such an amazing job. And what a great way to celebrate America. I mean, just love them to death. Let's see, hang on. I'm pull up my notes. Oh, don't forget, this Saturday, the Park Theater is showing Goonies free of charge. Starting at noon. There will be concessions to buy. So that's a lot of fun. Gives you a chance to actually go back and watch that movie in a type of movie theater. I mean, it's not really a movie theater anymore. It's a theater, but still a lot of fun. And coming up at the end of this month is the Chicago Teen Edition. Don't forget about that. That is going to be a great show. Tickets are not on sale yet, but we will make sure to let you guys know as soon as that happens, because we're all about the locals and keeping y'all updated. Something I did not talk about yesterday that I wanted to mention. I did briefly, I think, at the end, but our high school beta team came back. They won multiple awards. They did an excellent job. So proud of them. These are great kids. They're doing incredible work. And I will say, Dakota Moore, who's normally with our beta kids, he's a great asset to the beta team. He's smart and he's creative. And unfortunately, this year he's at Governor's School, or was. I'm not sure. I think he still is, but he was at Governor's School during beta convention and could not be there. But I will tell you, this kid got on his laptop and was still sending them stuff and creating things for them to use. So even though he wasn't there physically, he was doing Governor's School and still helping them. And what a great work ethic. I mean, I love seeing these young kids and knowing that they're going to make a difference in this world.
Yeah.
That maybe we are going to be okay, because it has been nothing but bad news for months now. And it's draining and it's depressing. Yeah. And then I see these kids and I see how much they grow and I see how smart they are. And then, maybe it's not going to be so bad,
Oh, yeah. I agree 100%.
I know a lot of our Warren County youth, along with a lot of youth from all over the country, just finished doing a mountaintop camp, which for those of you who don't know, that's a summer camp that they go to. It is Christian based, but these kids go out into the communities. Some of them even end up coming back here into McMinnville and helping build steps or wheelchair ramps, or just talking to these elderly people who are stuck in their homes and they don't really have family left and they really don't have anybody. And so these kids go in there and they feel that spiritual need. They feel, they help them out cleaning up storage buildings, and it's incredible to watch, and it's incredible to hear them talk about it afterwards. Yep. It's not something they're being forced to do. It's something they truly enjoy and that they get something back out of it. So
I love that.
I do too. I mean, I think I cried through half a church service listening to these kids talk about their experience and how great it was. So,
anything else?
I think that's all I got right now. There's really not a lot going on unless you want to talk about that other thing we were talking about.
We'll talk about it tomorrow's show.
Okay.
I got to get going because I got to do a quick little meeting and then go meet Kason. But I knew you had a lot of good stuff in your head. So
there is so much good stuff coming on. I'm so excited. Oh, and my daughter's surgery got moved up to tomorrow. I don't know why they suddenly bumped it, but we are excited because she's been in horrible pain. Yes. So y'all please keep her in your prayers tomorrow afternoon. I would greatly appreciate it.
Will do.
It's supposed to be a quick and easy surgery, but you
never know.
You never know.
No.
You never know. So,
okay.
You and I will talk later. And thanks for the call.
You're welcome.
And if I hear anything else, I will definitely let y'all know. Oh, I'm sorry. I did just find out about something that is also going on this Saturday.
Okay.
Kelly, she's supposed to contact you, get you all of the details. We can put it on the Facebook page. But this Saturday, Home of McMinnville, they are going to have somebody coming to sing.
We had them on the show this morning. They called me this morning.
Oh, so it's already been talked about.
Yes, girl.
On it. Go, Kathy.
Yes.
So, yes. Awesome. And the new Greek restaurant is open. So y'all go and go try that out. I cannot wait to go try it.
We tried last time and they were not ready.
They were not ready, but apparently this is what I'm hearing is they are officially open. And so
I guess we're gonna have to go by there.
For something new, because I'm telling you, after a while, it gets redundant in this town. I mean, we got lots of great options, but sometimes you just want something new. So I'm excited for something new coming in.
Want to go Greek? We have a Greek restaurant now.
I'm excited.
All right. Anything else, Boo Boo?
Laura, I think that's everything.
Okay. I'll talk to you after I get done with the show and stuff. I'll call back to you in a minute.
Good.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Guys, with that said, I hope you enjoyed the show and all the festivities. Take care. God bless. Enjoy the rest of the day. And if you have anything going on in your community that you would like us to know about, message me or call me at 931-369-3050. As well as don't forget, if you want the doorstep delivery, you got to text us as well. And two, if you don't want the hard copy and you're a digital person, we do offer this. You can get a free digital copy of this each week like everybody does. Just text that keyword, just say local voice to the 931-369-3050 number, and we will send you the digital copy each week as well. But other than that, it's been a blast hanging out with you here at Topz. We will be going live tomorrow since we are not having a show on Friday. We will be going live tomorrow at Juicy's on Wednesday, and this Thursday we will be at Supreme Building Products. So other than that, take care, God bless. And remember, Warren County, keep it first.